Imagine standing before a mirror and seeing a reflection that doesn't quite feel like you. Perhaps it's a face you recognize, yet behind the eyes lies a story of doubt, of fear, of quiet resignation. For years, you may have whispered apologies to yourself, hidden your voice, and dimmed your light to make space for everyone else. But what if I told you that the moment you begin love yourself deeply, everything changes? This is not just self-help talk. This is a journey into the very essence of your being, a journey to rediscover the love that has always been within you, waiting quietly, patiently, for you to notice. By the end of this audiobook, you will see yourself differently. You will understand the power you hold to heal old wounds, to rise above self-doubt, and to embrace a life rich with purpose and joy. So take a deep breath. Let the weight of the world fade for a moment. Open your heart, because what lies ahead is more than guidance. It's a transformation. Chapter 1. The Mirror of Truth. Look closely. Really look. Not at the surface, not at the reflection everyone else sees, but at the eyes that belong only to you. There is a story there, a story that has been whispered over and over, sometimes so quietly that you barely notice it, a story of doubt, of quiet surrender, of longing for approval that never came. And yet, behind that story, there is something far more important waiting to be seen, something that has been with you all along, the truth of who you really are. Most of us spend our lives avoiding the mirror, not because we are vain or fragile, but because the reflection often feels too honest, too revealing. It asks questions we don't want to answer. It whispers, "Who do you think you are? And are you enough?" These questions can feel heavy, even unbearable, because they point to the parts of ourselves we have hidden, denied, or ignored. And yet, this is exactly where the journey begins. To love yourself deeply, you must first meet yourself without disguise. Think of the mirror not as an enemy, but as an ally. It is not there to shame you, not there to judge you. It is there to invite you into honesty. Look past the surface insecurities, the fleeting doubts, the scars that feel too raw to touch. See the person behind them, the one who has endured, survived, and quietly persisted despite fear, rejection, and uncertainty. This is not a story of weakness. This is a story of resilience, of courage, of quiet strength that has carried you this far. It is in this reflection that you begin to uncover the truth. You are not defined by your mistakes, your regrets, or the expectations of others. You are not a sum of the times you felt unworthy, overlooked, or You are a living, breathing being, complete with imperfections, vulnerabilities, and boundless potential. To deny this truth is to deny the very essence of your life, and to embrace it is to take the first, most profound step toward loving yourself. Notice how your chest feels as you read these words, perhaps a little tight, a little heavy, as if old fears are rising to the surface. This is normal. It is the weight of years spent believing you were not enough. But notice too the quiet spark beneath it, the subtle voice that says, "I want more for myself. I deserve to be seen." That spark is the first ember of self-love. It is small now, perhaps barely noticeable, but with attention, care, and courage, it can grow into a fire that warms every corner of your being. Now, imagine that fire. Imagine it spreading through your chest, moving through your arms, your legs, filling your entire body. Every time you acknowledge a fear, every time you speak kindly to yourself, every time you look in the mirror and say, "I see you, I accept you, I honor you," the fire grows brighter. This is the essence of self-recognition. This is the foundation of self-worth. It is not built in a day, nor is it built on fleeting achievements. It is built in the quiet moments, in the honest confrontations with your own heart, in the decision to stop hiding and start seeing yourself fully. Let us pause for a moment and reflect on something essential. Seeing yourself clearly is not the same as liking yourself instantly. Many begin this journey expecting that the mirror will suddenly smile back, that love will feel immediate and effortless. But self-love is not a switch you flip. It is a process, a practice, a series of choices to honor yourself even when it feels hard, even when old patterns of self-criticism rise to challenge you. The first step is simply to notice, to acknowledge, to say, "Here I am, this is me, and I am willing to meet myself." As you continue this journey, you will discover that many of the voices that have haunted you, the voices of doubt, the voices of inadequacy, are not true. They are echoes of experiences, past pain, or other people's projections. They are not who you are, and yet, for years, you may have believed them as fact. The mirror teaches a different truth. You are not those voices. You are the observer of those voices. You are the conscious mind that can choose which whispers to heed and which to release. This awareness is liberation. It is the soil from which self-love can grow. Consider this. Every habit of self-criticism, every comparison, every time you minimize your own worth to make someone else comfortable, has been a subtle rejection of yourself. But now you have the opportunity to rewrite that story. You can choose to see yourself through a lens of compassion rather than judgment. You can choose to honor your experiences, to acknowledge the battles you've fought quietly, and to recognize the courage it has taken simply to survive and continue. This is not vanity. This is integrity. This is the first act of profound self-love. And here is a truth that is easy to overlook but impossible to ignore. Self-love is not selfish. It is the very foundation from which you can give to others authentically. If you neglect your own heart, you will forever chase external validation, forever look for permission, forever feel incomplete. When you choose to meet yourself, see yourself, and honor yourself, the world begins to mirror that love back to you. Not immediately, perhaps, but inevitably, in ways subtle and profound. So in this first chapter, your task is simple, yet transformative. Look in the mirror, not to critique, not to compare, not to escape. Look to witness, to recognize, to acknowledge your existence fully. Ask yourself the quiet questions. Who am I beneath the noise? What parts of me have I hidden? And why? What would it feel like to accept myself unconditionally, just as I am today? Do not rush these questions. Sit with them. Let them breathe. Let them awaken something in you that has been waiting patiently, quietly, for this moment. As you leave this chapter and step into the next, carry this reflection with you. The mirror is not your enemy. It is the doorway to self-awareness, self-acceptance, and ultimately, deep, transformative self-love. The journey is only beginning, but the first seed has been planted. Nurture it, watch it, believe in it, and be prepared, because in the next chapter, we will begin the work of healing the wounds that have long kept your heart from embracing the love it has always deserved. The path ahead is both intimate and powerful, and it starts here, with the courage to truly see yourself. Chapter 2. Healing the Wounds Within. Close your eyes for a moment and feel the quiet pulse of your own heartbeat. Beneath the noise of daily life, beneath the busyness and distractions, there is a rhythm that has carried you through every moment of pain, every night of loneliness, every day when you wondered if you were enough. This pulse is the measure of your resilience, a quiet testimony that you have survived far more than you may ever fully acknowledge. And yet, within you, there are still wounds, scars etched deep by words spoken too harshly, by love withheld, by dreams that were denied. Healing begins by seeing these wounds, not hiding from them. Many of us spend decades avoiding the pain we carry, convincing ourselves that pretending it doesn't exist will make it disappear. But the truth is, unhealed wounds whisper constantly. They show up in our choices, in our relationships, in the silent ways we undermine our own worth. They are the invisible chains that keep us from stepping fully into the love we deserve. The first step toward freedom is to face them. Picture a wound, not as a flaw or a weakness, but as a map. It shows you where you have been hurt, where the world pressed against your heart, and where the love you needed was denied. Each wound carries a message, and the act of listening to that message is an act of courage. Sit with your memories. Let the emotions rise without judgment. Let the tears, the anger, the sorrow pass through you. You are not your pain, but you are its witness, and witnessing is the beginning of transformation. Consider this. Some of your deepest wounds were formed in moments you had no control over. Perhaps it was a harsh word from someone you loved, a betrayal that felt impossible to survive, or a rejection that made you question your value. These experiences may have shaped your beliefs about yourself, but they do not define you. They are chapters in your story, not the conclusion. Healing is the process of rewriting the way you see those chapters, of reclaiming the narrative from pain to empowerment. Healing is also a practice of compassion. When you have been hurt, your first instinct may be to harden your heart, to protect yourself by shutting out the world. But true healing asks for a different courage, the courage to be gentle with yourself, to cradle your own suffering with understanding and care. Speak to yourself with the kindness you wish someone else had spoken to you. Remind yourself that what you endured was not your fault. Let your inner voice become a sanctuary rather than a battlefield. It is important to acknowledge that healing does not follow a straight path. Some days will feel lighter, others will feel unbearable. You may revisit old pain unexpectedly, triggered by a word, a memory, or a small action that echoes the past. This is natural. Healing is not a race, nor a destination. It is a dialogue, a continuous conversation with yourself, where you learn to honor, comfort, and empower your own spirit. Imagine now that each scar in your heart is like a stone on a path. At first, the path may feel treacherous, uncomfortable to walk. But as you begin to tend to your wounds, to listen and respond to the needs of your own heart, those stones begin to form a bridge. They are no longer obstacles, they are markers of strength, reminders that you endured, that you adapted, that you continue to rise. What once caused you to stumble becomes the foundation upon which you can stand tall, proud of the journey you have traveled. Healing is also the practice of forgiveness, and this begins with yourself. There may be times when you blame yourself for choices you made, for moments when you hurt others, or for letting pain take hold. Release that burden. You were doing the best you could with the tools, knowledge, and understanding you had at the time. Forgiveness is not about forgetting or excusing. It is about freeing yourself from the weight of the past, so that your heart can breathe again. Say quietly, I forgive myself. I release this burden. I allow myself to heal. As you continue this journey, you will notice that healing is not just about the past. It is also about your future. Every step toward embracing your wounds is a step toward embracing your potential. Each act of self-compassion, each moment you honor your feelings, creates space for love to grow. You begin to understand that your worth is inherent, not contingent on accomplishments, validation, or the approval of others. Your value is intrinsic, and healing allows you to experience it fully. Let me share a truth that is often overlooked. Vulnerability is the gateway to profound self-love. When you allow yourself to feel deeply, to confront the pain within, you also open yourself to joy, connection, and authentic living. Hiding your wounds may feel safe, but it isolates you from your own heart. Embracing them, acknowledging them, honoring them, and nurturing them is the act that transforms suffering into strength. It is the quiet alchemy that turns past pain into a source of wisdom and empowerment. So, in this chapter, the invitation is clear. Face your wounds, and face them with courage and kindness. Do not rush. Do not push them away. Sit with your feelings. Write them down. Speak to them aloud. Allow yourself to cry if needed, to shake, to feel anger or grief. These emotions are not signs of weakness. They are the language of your heart telling you that healing is possible. Every acknowledgement, every gentle act of self-compassion becomes a thread weaving a stronger, more resilient you. As we close this chapter, carry this reflection forward. Your wounds are not barriers. They are doors. Each scar is a reminder of your resilience, your survival, and your capacity to love, not in spite of what you have endured, but because of it. Healing is a journey, and you have already taken the first courageous step by simply noticing, by simply being willing to meet yourself in your own pain. In the next chapter, we will explore the power of the words you speak to yourself, the language that shapes your inner world, transforms your perception, and lays the foundation for a love that is unwavering, unshakable, and entirely your own. Your heart is ready. Your journey continues, and the path of self-love grows brighter with every step you take. Chapter 3. The Language of Self-Love. Have you ever noticed the quiet conversations you have with yourself? Those invisible threads of thought that thread through your mind from the moment you wake until the moment you sleep. Some of these words are gentle, comforting, and warm. Others are harsh, critical, and unforgiving. And yet, no matter how quiet they may seem, every word you speak to yourself carries weight. They shape the way you see the world, the way you treat others, and most importantly, the way you treat yourself. Your inner dialogue is more powerful than you realize. It is the lens through which every experience passes. A simple phrase, repeated often enough, can either lift you to unimaginable heights or quietly chip away at your confidence and sense of worth. Imagine waking each morning and telling yourself, "I am capable. I am deserving. I am enough." Feel the subtle shift in your chest, the softening of tension, the way your spirit relaxes just slightly, like a door opening after years of being closed. That is the transformative power of language. Most of us, however, have been speaking to ourselves with a language shaped by fear, doubt, and the echoes of other people's criticisms. Perhaps you hear a voice that says, "You're not good enough," or "You always fail." These words are not truths. They are conditioned patterns, learned from childhood, from mistakes, from rejection, from moments when you were silenced or dismissed. Yet we carry them as though they were our own. The first step in reclaiming your power is to recognize these words for what they are: borrowed judgments, not reflections of your true self. Now imagine stepping into a room filled with mirrors, each one reflecting back, not your appearance, but your inner voice. Some mirrors echo the old criticisms, the doubts, the fears. Others, faintly, begin to reflect encouragement, kindness, and possibility. Which mirrors will you choose to focus on? Which voices will you allow to shape your day, your choices, your life? The answer matters, because the language you use is the architecture of your inner world. It builds either prisons or sanctuaries, walls or open skies. The act of transforming your inner dialogue is both subtle and profound. Start with awareness. Notice the words you repeat, the judgments you silently offer yourself. Then consciously, gently, begin to replace them with truths that nurture rather than diminish. "I am learning" can replace "I am failing." "I am enough" can replace "I am not worthy." At first, these phrases may feel unfamiliar, even strange, because your mind has grown comfortable with criticism. But comfort is not always the same as truth. Allow yourself the courage to speak new words, to plant seeds of kindness within the fertile soil of your mind. Consider a small act. Each morning, whisper to yourself something you genuinely admire about who you are. Perhaps it is your resilience, your curiosity, your empathy, or the courage that has carried you through difficult days. Watch how this one practice changes the tone of your day. Notice how you respond to challenges with slightly more patience, to setbacks with slightly more hope, and to yourself with slightly more compassion. Words, though intangible, are actions of the highest order. They shape perception, inspire behavior, and slowly transform the very fabric of your identity. There is also power in listening, not just speaking. Pay attention to the stories you tell yourself about the past, the judgments you place on your experiences, the narratives that define who you are and what you can achieve. Ask yourself, is this story true, or is it a story I have inherited from others? Challenging these narratives is not easy. It requires courage to stand against a lifetime of habitual thinking. Yet in doing so, you create space for a new story, one authored by the heart, one steeped in compassion, one that reflects the limitless potential within you. Language also shapes your relationship with your body. How often do you speak negatively about your appearance, your health, or your physical abilities? Every harsh word chips away at the trust you hold in yourself. Begin to notice and transform these statements. Speak to your body as an ally, not an adversary. Say, I honor you, I nurture you, you are my home, and I cherish you. These words ripple through every cell, affecting not just your thoughts, but your energy, your posture, your presence. The mind and body respond in tandem to the messages you give them. As you cultivate a language of self-love, be patient. Your mind may resist, your inner critic may protest, and old patterns may reassert themselves. This is natural. Transformation is rarely immediate. It is incremental, subtle, and continuous. Celebrate each small victory, a moment of patience with yourself, a thought of encouragement instead of criticism, a gentle reminder of your worth when doubt creeps in. These small victories accumulate, becoming the foundation of a resilient, loving inner voice. And remember, the language of self-love extends beyond words spoken in solitude. It colors your interactions with the world. When you speak kindly to yourself, your words to others shift. Your presence becomes less defensive, more generous, more authentic. You begin to see not just your own value, but the value in those around you. Loving language transforms relationships because it starts with the one who matters most. So, in this chapter, the invitation is clear. Examine the words you use to speak to yourself. Hear the old voices, but do not obey them. Begin to craft a new vocabulary of compassion, encouragement, and acceptance. Speak to yourself with patience, curiosity, and respect. Let your inner dialogue become a sanctuary rather than a battlefield, a place of nurture rather than judgment. As this chapter closes, carry this thought with you. Every word you speak to yourself is a brushstroke on the canvas of your inner life. Choose them with care, choose them with love, and as you step into the next chapter, prepare to learn how boundaries can become the expression of that love, the invisible lines that protect your heart, honor your needs, and reinforce the sacredness of your own worth. Your voice, your words, and your inner world are ready to transform, and the next chapter will show you how to create a life where that transformation is safe, supported, and unstoppable. Chapter 4. Boundaries as Acts of Love. Have you ever felt drained, stretched too thin, or invisible in the very spaces where you should feel safe and valued? Perhaps you've given so much of yourself to others that you've forgotten what it feels like to protect your own heart. Imagine for a moment standing in a field of wildflowers, fragile yet vibrant, Now imagine that every time someone reaches to pick a flower, they pull it roughly, without thought, until the bloom bends and wilts. This is what it feels like when your boundaries are absent, your energy is harvested, your spirit overlooked, your heart exhausted. Boundaries are not walls built to shut the world out. They are fences, gates, and protective lines that honor your space, your energy, and your emotions. They are a declaration that your time, your feelings, and your well-being matter. Many of us have been taught that saying no is selfish, that prioritizing ourselves is arrogant, or that our needs are less important than the needs of others. But nothing could be further from the truth. Boundaries are acts of love. Love for yourself, love for others, and love for the life you are building. Consider this. Without boundaries, you live reactively, constantly giving in ways that leave you depleted and resentful. You may feel guilt when you try to assert your needs, or fear that people will be angry, disappointed, or hurt. But boundaries are not about punishment. They are about protection. They are the invisible force that allows your soul to breathe freely. When you draw a line with courage and clarity, you are saying, "I honor myself, and I invite you to do the same." Boundaries take many forms. Sometimes it is as simple as saying no to a request that overwhelms you. Other times it is creating space to rest, to reflect, or to pursue your dreams without interference. Boundaries can be emotional, physical, or even digital. They are the limits that safeguard your energy in every sphere of your life. They are not a rejection of others, but an embrace of your own dignity. Every time you assert a boundary, you are nurturing a deeper sense of self-worth. It is natural to fear that establishing boundaries will lead to conflict or rejection. In truth, the opposite often happens. When you show your self-respect through your boundaries, you teach others how to treat you. People may initially resist, but over time, healthy boundaries create clarity and honesty in relationships. They eliminate the unspoken tensions, the resentments, and the silent compromises that drain your spirit. Boundaries invite connection rooted in authenticity, not obligation or fear. Think about the people you allow into your inner circle. Do they honor your space, your time, your emotion, or do they take without consideration, leaving you feeling depleted? Your boundaries act as a filter. They allow love, respect, and reciprocity to flow freely, while gently keeping away those who would diminish your light. By protecting your energy, you are not being unkind. You are being wise. You are recognizing that your heart is precious, and it deserves care, attention, and intentional protection. Setting boundaries begins with awareness. Notice where you feel drained, resentful, or anxious. Pay attention to the moments when you say yes, because you feel obligated, or when you sacrifice your needs to please others. These moments are clues, signposts, indicating where your energy has been compromised. Then, with compassion and resolve, begin to articulate what you need. Sometimes this requires practice, a gentle rehearsal in your mind or aloud. "I need time to rest," or "I cannot take this on right now," are statements of self-respect, not aggression. Boundaries also teach self-discipline. Saying no to certain requests, habits, or distractions creates space for what truly matters. It allows you to invest in your growth, your healing, and your joy. It is not always easy, especially if you are used to accommodating others at your own expense, but the rewards are profound. When your boundaries are honored, you feel more empowered, more centered, and more capable of engaging with the world authentically. Imagine your life as a garden. Without boundaries, weeds of expectation, obligation, and neglect creep in, choking the growth of the flowers you wish to nurture. But when you plant fences of respect and space, you cultivate an environment where your inner garden can thrive. Your energy is preserved, your heart is safeguarded, and your true self has room to bloom fully. Boundaries are not rigid. They are flexible, alive, and reflective of your evolving needs and desires. Boundaries also model love for those around you. When children, friends, partners, or colleagues see that you respect your own needs, they learn how to respect theirs. When you honor yourself, you create a culture of care, understanding, and mutual respect. The act of setting a boundary is simultaneously a personal commitment and a gift to the world. It shows others that love is not sacrifice at the cost of self, but harmony between self and others. As you practice boundaries, remember that they are not static. Your needs change, your energy shifts, and your heart evolves. What was once essential may become flexible. What was once tolerable may no longer serve you. Boundaries are living agreements with yourself, reflecting your current capacity, priorities, and values. They are not permanent punishments. They are conscious choices that honor the person you are today and the person you are becoming. In this chapter, the message is clear. To love yourself deeply, you must protect yourself deliberately. Boundaries are not obstacles. They are the framework for freedom. They are the quiet courage of saying yes to your own well-being, no to depletion, and maybe to a life that feels expansive, respectful, and deeply aligned with your worth. Every boundary you draw is an affirmation that your heart matters, that your time matters, and that your life deserves to be lived fully and intentionally. As this chapter closes, hold this reflection close. Boundaries are the invisible architecture of self-love. They define the space where your spirit can breathe, where your heart can heal, and where your energy can flourish. And as you step into the next chapter, prepare to explore forgiveness, the act of releasing past pain and embracing freedom. It is through forgiveness that the wounds we have carried begin to dissolve, making room for the love and peace that have always been waiting within us. Your heart is protected, your voice is rising, and the path of self-love continues to unfold, brighter and more powerful with every step. Chapter 5. The Art of Forgiveness. Picture a river, wide and powerful, carrying debris from storms long past. Branches, leaves, fragments of what once was, everything trapped along its banks, stagnant and heavy. Now imagine a dam holding all of it back, preventing the flow of water from moving freely. This is what holding on to resentment, anger, or past pain does to the heart. Forgiveness is the act of opening the dam, of allowing the current to carry away the debris so the water can flow clean and unhindered once more. Forgiveness is not about condoning what happened. It is not about excusing the harm or pretending that the wounds did not exist. Rather, forgiveness is an act of liberation, a conscious decision to release the weight that has been pressing on your spirit. When we hold on to anger or blame, we are not punishing the other person, we are punishing ourselves. The heart becomes a prison of its own making, limited by chains that were never meant to bind us permanently. Consider this. How many times have you replayed a hurt in your mind, feeling the sting as fresh as the day it happened? Perhaps it was a betrayal by someone you loved, a harsh word that cut deeply, or a pattern of neglect that left you questioning your worth. These memories linger because we have not fully released them. Forgiveness does not erase the past. It transforms our relationship with it. It allows the memory to exist without controlling our present, without dictating how we feel or how we allow ourselves to be treated. Forgiveness begins within. It starts with an honest acknowledgement of pain. Sit with your feelings. Allow them to surface fully. You may feel anger, sadness, grief, or confusion. Do not rush through them. These emotions are not enemies. They are guides, pointing to the places within you that need attention, healing, and understanding. By honoring them, you are preparing the soil in which forgiveness can take root. Next comes compassion, not for the person who hurt you, at least not at first, but for yourself. Recognize that you have suffered and that your feelings are valid. Too often we rush to forgive because we feel pressure to move on, or because society tells us we must let go. True forgiveness, however, is a gift we give ourselves, freely and without coercion. It is not an obligation, it is an empowerment, a reclaiming of control over our own hearts. Forgiveness also requires perspective. We are all human, all imperfect, all shaped by our experiences, fears and limitations. People act out of their own wounds, their own fears, and their own incomplete understanding of the world. This is not an excuse for harm, but a lens through which we can understand that the pain inflicted upon us often has more to do with others' limitations than with our intrinsic worth. Recognizing this can soften the grip of anger and resentment, opening the door to freedom. Imagine now the burden you carry in your chest, weighted, heavy, pressing down on every breath. Picture placing that burden gently into your hands, observing it, and then choosing to release it. This act is forgiveness. It may feel strange or even uncomfortable at first. The mind may resist. The ego may protest. They don't deserve this, it whispers, and yet the heart knows. This act is for you, not them. The release is yours to claim. You are choosing peace, clarity, and the ability to move forward unshackled by the past. Forgiveness is also a process, not a single act. Some wounds will require repeated acknowledgement, repeated moments of letting go. You may need to revisit a hurt several times before it fully releases its hold. And that is okay. Healing is not linear. It is a spiral, sometimes circling back, sometimes moving forward, always progressing toward freedom. Each act of forgiveness, no matter how small, chips away at the weight and creates space for love, joy, and self-compassion to grow. It is important to note that forgiveness does not always require reconciliation. You can forgive someone and still choose to protect yourself from further harm. Boundaries, which we explored in the previous chapter, work hand in hand with forgiveness releases the emotional burden, while boundaries ensure your safety, your energy, and your continued growth. Together, they create a heart that is both free and wise. Forgiveness is not weakness, it is courage, it is strength, in its purest form. It is a declaration that you will not let the past control your present or dictate your future. It is the conscious decision to reclaim your power, to breathe fully, to live authentically, and to open your heart to the possibility of love and joy once more. Now, bring this closer to your own life. Perhaps there is someone you have carried anger toward for years, or even decades. Imagine writing their name in the sand, feeling the tension in your body as the memories arise. Then, with each exhale, envision the anger, the resentment, the hurt, being washed away by a tide of compassion, slowly and gently, leaving only clarity, understanding, and peace behind. This is the essence of forgiveness. It is the art of freeing yourself, of letting go, and of allowing your heart to expand beyond the constraints of past pain. As this chapter draws to a close, remember this: forgiveness is a gift you give yourself every day. It is the gentle, steady hand that untangles the knots in your heart, the stream that carries away the debris of old wounds, and the sunlight that warms the corners of your soul long hidden by shadow. Each moment you choose forgiveness, you reclaim a part of your life that was lost to bitterness or grief. Each act brings you closer to the deep, unshakable self-love that you are cultivating with every step of this journey. In the next chapter, we will explore the transformative power of gratitude, a practice that allows the heart to notice abundance, to celebrate life, and to create an inner environment where self-worth and joy flourish effortlessly. Forgiveness clears the path, and gratitude lights the way. Your heart is lighter now, your spirit freer, and your journey toward profound self-love continues with courage and grace. Chapter 6: The Transformative Power of Gratitude. Close your eyes for a moment and picture the smallest, most ordinary thing in your life. A cup of tea, the warmth of sunlight on your skin, the sound of rain tapping against the window. At first, it may seem insignificant, even mundane, yet when you truly notice it, When you allow yourself to feel the fullness of that moment, you begin to touch the profound power of gratitude. Gratitude is not just a polite habit or a fleeting thought. It is a lens that transforms everything it touches. Gratitude has the power to shift your perspective from scarcity to abundance, from complaint to appreciation, from despair to hope. It is the practice of consciously acknowledging the gifts that already exist in your life, even amidst struggle or uncertainty. And the beautiful truth is this: the more you notice, the more you awaken a deep, unshakable sense of self-worth, because you begin to realize that life itself is abundant, and that includes the abundance of love and value that resides within you. Many of us think gratitude is only for the big moments, a promotion at work, a new relationship, or an achievement that feels worthy of celebration. But the heart of gratitude lives in the small, ordinary details, the unnoticed acts of kindness, the breath you take, the resilience that carried you through yesterday. When you train your mind to see and honor these small gifts, your internal world begins to change. The more you focus on what you have rather than what you lack, the more your heart softens, and the more love you can feel for yourself and the world around you. Imagine for a moment that every thought you carry is a seed. Negative thoughts, self-criticism, doubt, they grow into thorny vines, tangling your heart and limiting your vision. But thoughts of gratitude are like sunlight and water, nourishing the seeds of joy, self-love, and possibility. Each acknowledgement of beauty, of love, of kindness, helps to cultivate a garden within your soul, where confidence, peace, and contentment can flourish. Gratitude also strengthens resilience. Life will always bring challenges, moments of pain, disappointment, and loss. Without a lens of gratitude, these experiences can feel overwhelming, heavy, and unmanageable. But when you practice gratitude, even in the smallest ways, you build a bridge of perspective. You begin to notice that within every difficulty there is a lesson, a spark of growth, a reason to keep moving forward. Gratitude does not erase hardship, but it allows you to face it with courage and clarity, knowing that life is still full of value and meaning. Start with the simple practice of noticing 3 things each day that you are grateful for. They do not need to be monumental. Perhaps the aroma of coffee in the morning, the laughter of a friend, or the feeling of soft grass beneath your feet. Write them down. Speak them aloud. Let your heart feel the depth of each one. With consistent practice, you will begin to notice a subtle but profound shift in the way you experience life. Moments of joy that once passed unnoticed now stand in sharp relief, and your sense of self-worth begins to expand, fed by recognition of the richness that surrounds you. Gratitude is also deeply connected to connection. When you acknowledge the good in your life, you begin to notice the role of others in your story, the teachers, the friends, the family, the strangers who have offered kindness in ways large and small. Gratitude dissolves isolation. It reminds you that you are never truly alone, that life is a network of love, energy, and interdependence. And within this awareness, self-love grows stronger, because you begin to see yourself as an integral part of this web, worthy of care, respect, and appreciation. Yet it is important to remember that gratitude is not denial. It is not about pretending pain does not exist, or that suffering is insignificant. On the contrary, it is about embracing life in its entirety, the light and the shadow, the joy and the struggle, the easy and the difficult. Gratitude allows you to see that even in the presence of hardship, there is something to honor, something to acknowledge, something to nurture within your own heart. It is a conscious choice to recognize the beauty that persists, despite imperfection. Consider now the words you speak to yourself, which we explored in Chapter 3. Gratitude amplifies those words. When you combine self-compassion with acknowledgement of your blessings, Your inner voice becomes a source of encouragement rather than critique. You begin to say, I am grateful for the strength I have, the choices I make, the life I am building. Each declaration is a reinforcement of your self-worth, a reminder that you are deserving of love, care, and appreciation first and foremost from yourself. Gratitude also invites creativity and possibility. When you focus on abundance, you begin to notice opportunities that were once hidden. Doors that seemed closed suddenly appear ajar. Challenges take on new forms as invitations to grow and learn rather than obstacles to fear. Your life becomes not a series of burdens to bear, but a canvas on which to paint with awareness, appreciation, and intention. Gratitude transforms your perception and allows your authentic self to emerge with clarity and confidence. As you continue to cultivate this practice, notice how your heart feels lighter, your mind clearer, and your energy more expansive. Gratitude is a subtle yet transformative power, one that nurtures self-love from the inside out. Each moment you intentionally honor the good around you, you reinforce the message that your life is valuable, your efforts are meaningful, and your presence matters. In this chapter, the invitation is simple. Let gratitude become a daily, conscious practice. Notice the ordinary miracles, sip words of acknowledgement to yourself and the world. Allow the light of appreciation to illuminate even the darkest corners of your inner landscape. Through gratitude, your heart begins to open, your self-worth strengthens, and your capacity to love yourself deeply expands beyond measure. As this chapter closes, carry this reflection forward. Gratitude is both a mirror and a doorway. It reflects the beauty and abundance that already exist in your life, and it opens the path to more. In the next chapter, we will explore the power of presence, the art of living fully in each moment, where self-love, awareness, and joy converge into a life of deep, abiding fulfillment. Your heart is ready, your awareness is expanding, and the journey of profound self-love continues, guided by the quiet, transformative power of gratitude. Chapter 7. The Power of Presence. Close your eyes and take a slow, deep breath. Feel the air enter your lungs, the gentle rise of your chest, the rhythm of your heartbeat beneath your skin. Right now, this very moment, is all that exists. Not the regrets of yesterday, not the worries of tomorrow, but the pure, raw reality of now. Presence is not something to be achieved or acquired. It is the awareness that your life unfolds in these fleeting, irreplaceable moments. And it is here that the deepest self-love is cultivated. Many of us live as though life exists somewhere else, just around the corner after the next achievement, or when a certain condition is met. We chase what feels distant, yet the life we long for is already here, waiting to be noticed, to be felt, to be embraced. Presence is the bridge between yearning and fulfillment. It is the conscious act of inhabiting your body, your mind, and your emotions without distraction, without resistance, and without judgment. Think for a moment about the last time you truly paid attention to a conversation, a walk in nature, or the taste of a meal. Did you notice the depth, the texture, the simple perfection of that moment? Or was your mind elsewhere, busy with thoughts, worries, or plans? Each time we miss the present, we miss ourselves. We miss the chance to feel the fullness of life and the love we owe our own being. Presence is the gateway to self-awareness, and self-awareness is the foundation of self-love. Being present requires courage. It asks you to meet yourself exactly as you are, flaws, fears, doubts, and all. It means acknowledging the discomforts you might usually avoid, the anxiety in your chest, the sadness in your eyes, the restlessness in your mind. And yet when you allow yourself to be fully here, you discover that these sensations are not threats. They are teachers. They are the signals guiding you toward understanding, growth, and acceptance. Presence transforms resistance into insight, and discomfort into wisdom. Consider the metaphor of a river. Water does not cling to obstacles. It flows around them, over them, under them, fully inhabiting its path. When you cultivate presence, you begin to move through life like this river, aware, adaptable, and attuned to the flow of experience. Each moment becomes an opportunity to observe, to engage, and to nurture the connection with your own heart. Presence is the art of noticing life without judgment, and in that noticing, you uncover the profound beauty of simply being. Presence also deepens your connection to others. When you listen without planning your response, when you engage without distraction, you show a form of love and respect that words alone cannot convey. People sense presence. It radiates authenticity, attentiveness, and care. And as you practice this toward others, you mirror the practice inward, nurturing a relationship with yourself that is grounded in attention, respect, and appreciation. One of the greatest gifts of presence is the quiet revelation of gratitude. When you are fully here, even the smallest acts of life, the rustle of leaves, the warmth of sunlight, the laughter of a loved one, become profound. You no longer take life for granted. You notice it, you honor it, and you allow it to nourish your soul. Presence transforms ordinary experiences into sacred rituals, and in doing so, it nurtures the self-love that arises from witnessing life's abundance with open eyes and an open heart. Presence is not a practice reserved for meditation or quiet moments alone. It can be woven into the fabric of daily life. While washing dishes, feel the sensation of water against your hands. While walking to work, notice the sound of your footsteps, the air on your skin, the colors of the world around you. When you speak with someone, give them the gift of your undivided attention. These small acts are not trivial. They are invitations to inhabit life fully, and through them, you cultivate a sense of wholeness within yourself. It is natural for the mind to resist, to wander, to drift into the past or future. This is not failure. It is human. Presence is not about perfection. It is about gentle redirection, a compassionate return to the now whenever distraction arises. Each return strengthens your connection to your inner self, reinforces your self-worth, and reminds you that life is happening now, not somewhere else, not later, but within you, this very moment. Presence also teaches patience. By staying fully with yourself, you learn to move through life with intention rather than impulse. You notice patterns, observe choices, and act with awareness. In this way, presence becomes a tool for transformation, a way to break free from reactive habits, from unconscious behaviors, and from the automatic judgments that erode self-love. By simply being, you become both witness and participant in your own life, fully engaged, fully empowered. Imagine now a day in your life lived with presence. Each task, each interaction, each thought is noticed and honored. The mundane becomes meaningful. Challenges are met with clarity. Joy is amplified because you are aware of it. Your relationships deepen because you are truly there. And most importantly, your relationship with yourself blossoms, rooted in the awareness that you deserve attention, care, and love in every fleeting, precious moment. As this chapter closes, remember this: presence is not a destination. It is a practice, a commitment, and a gift you give to yourself every day. It is through presence that self-love takes root, grows, and thrives. It is through presence that you fully inhabit the life you are building, and it is through presence that you become the person you were always meant to be, aware, empowered, and profoundly at home within your own heart. In the next chapter, we will explore the power of self-expression, how embracing your authentic voice, creativity, and desires can ignite your inner confidence and expand your sense of worth. Presence has prepared you for this step, anchoring you firmly in the now, ready to speak, create, and shine with authenticity. Your awareness is alive, your heart is awake, and your journey toward deep, transformative self-love continues, moment by moment, breath by breath. Chapter 8. Embracing your authentic voice. Have you ever felt a whisper inside you, urging you to speak, to create, to show up as yourself, but then silenced it, fearing judgment, rejection, or failure? That whisper is your authentic voice, your unique essence calling out for expression. It is the song of your soul, waiting to be heard. And every time you ignore it, you diminish not only your own light, but the gifts you were born to share with the world. Your authentic voice is not merely the sound of your words. It is the full expression of who you are. It is the courage to say what you feel, the willingness to create what inspires you, and the freedom to live in alignment with your deepest values. Embracing your voice is an act of self-love, because it honors the truth of your being and affirms that your presence matters. Consider the metaphor of a tree. A tree does not apologize for reaching toward the sun. Its branches extend with confidence. Its roots anchor it firmly in the earth. It grows according to its own design, regardless of the storm or the opinions of onlookers. Like that tree, your voice is naturally inclined to grow and expand. It seeks expression, nourishment, and recognition. To silence it is to deny a fundamental part of yourself. Many of us have been conditioned to hide, to adapt, to conform. Perhaps society told you that speaking your truth was rude, or your family discouraged your dreams, or past experiences left you doubting your worth. These messages, though often subtle, can stifle your voice for years, leaving only a faint echo of your true self. The first step toward embracing authenticity is recognizing these patterns. Notice where fear, shame, or self-doubt has kept you silent. Acknowledge it without judgment. Awareness is the first step to reclaiming your power. Reclaiming your voice begins with small, deliberate acts. See your opinion when it matters. Write your thoughts in a journal without censoring them. Create art, music, or movement that reflects your inner truth. Even the tiniest acknowledgement of your desires and perspectives strengthens the bridge between your inner world and your outer expression. Each act is a declaration. I exist. I matter. My voice matters. Authenticity also requires courage to set boundaries. Your voice will not flourish in environments that demand compromise of your values or suppression of your truth. Saying no when it is necessary, prioritizing your needs, and honoring your own integrity are all essential elements of embracing your authentic voice. Self-expression and self-respect are inseparable. To speak your truth is to affirm your worth. The process of embracing your voice is deeply tied to vulnerability. True self-expression is not about perfection, eloquence, or approval. It is about courageously revealing your inner world, even when it feels uncertain or uncomfortable. Vulnerability is not weakness. It is a declaration that your inner life is valuable, worthy of attention, and deserving of love. Every time you speak your truth, you practice the profound act of self-validation. Your voice also has the power to heal. Sharing your experiences, your feelings, and your creativity can illuminate your own path and inspire others to do the same. When you express your authentic self, you connect with others on a deeper level. You show them that it is possible to be real, to be seen, and to honor one's own journey. Your authenticity becomes a ripple, spreading courage and love far beyond what you can immediately perceive. It is important to remember that your voice evolves. There will be moments when it trembles, when the words feel clumsy or insufficient. There will be times when you retreat, when fear temporarily silences you. This is natural. Embracing your authentic voice is not a one-time act. It is a lifelong practice. Each return to your truth strengthens your confidence, deepens your self-understanding, and affirms your value. Let us imagine now the life that arises when you fully embrace your voice. Your ideas are shared without hesitation. Your art, your words, your actions reflect the fullness of your being. Relationships become more honest, more meaningful, because you are no longer hiding behind masks or approval-seeking behaviors. Your presence commands respect because it is rooted in integrity and authenticity. And within this life, self-love is no longer a distant concept. It is a living, breathing reality reflected in every word you speak and every choice you make. To integrate your voice into your daily life, begin with intentional reflection. Ask yourself, where am I hiding? Where do I feel silenced? What small steps can I take today to honor my truth? These reflections are not exercises in guilt or self-criticism. They are invitations to action. They are the quiet insistence of your inner self that it is time to be heard, fully and unapologetically. As this chapter draws to a close, remember this: embracing your authentic voice is not about impressing others. It is about embracing yourself. Every time you speak, create or act from a place of truth, you affirm your worth. You show the world that your presence is meaningful, and you cultivate the self-love that flows from alignment between who you are and how you live. In the next chapter, we will explore the power of resilience, the inner strength that allows you to navigate challenges, recover from setbacks, and maintain unwavering self-love, even in the face of life's storms. Presence has prepared you, and authenticity has empowered you. Now it is time to harness the resilience that will carry your self-love forward. No matter the circumstances, your voice is alive, your heart is awake, and your journey toward profound self-love continues, growing louder, stronger, and more radiant with each step you take. Chapter 9. The Strength of Resilience. Have you ever stood at the edge of a storm, feeling the wind tear at your spirit, the rain blurring your vision, and wondered if you would survive? Resilience is what allows you to stand firm when life pushes you to the breaking point. It is the inner flame that refuses to go out, even when darkness surrounds you. And it is through resilience that self-love becomes unshakable, even in the most challenging circumstances. Resilience is not the absence of pain or struggle. It is the ability to feel, to process, and to rise again. Life will always test you. There will be moments when rejection, failure, or loss thrones to define you. But resilience is the quiet, unwavering voice within that whispers, "This too shall pass. You are capable. You are enough." It is the courage to meet adversity with your heart open, your mind clear, and your self-worth intact. Consider the metaphor of a mountain standing against relentless winds. The mountain does not fight the wind. It does not crumble because the gusts are fierce. Instead, it roots itself deeper, absorbs the impact, and remains steadfast. Resilience is your inner mountain. It is the foundation that holds you upright when life feels unsteady. Each challenge you face is an opportunity to deepen your roots, to strengthen your core, and to rise higher than before. Resilience grows through awareness. When you pause to acknowledge your struggles rather than deny them, you begin to understand your true capacity. Reflect on the times you have overcome difficulty. Remember how you felt when you discovered that despite fear, doubt, or heartbreak, you still had the strength to move forward. These memories are proof that resilience is not hypothetical. It is your lived reality, and recognizing this truth ignites confidence, hope, and courage. One of the most powerful aspects of resilience is its connection to self-compassion. When you are faced with setbacks, it is easy to criticize yourself, to label your struggles as weakness. But self-love and resilience are intertwined. By treating yourself with kindness, by acknowledging your pain without judgment, you give yourself the space to heal, to learn, and to grow stronger. Compassion is the soil in which resilience flourishes. Resilience is also deeply creative. It is not a rigid, unyielding force. It is adaptable, fluid, and alive. Life will rarely conform to your expectations, and neither can your response. Flexibility is key. When plans fail, relationships shift, or circumstances change, resilience allows you to adjust without losing your center. It teaches you to bend without breaking, to move with the current of life while staying anchored in your values, your truth, and your self-love. Every act of resilience, no matter how small, reinforces your inner strength. Waking up after a difficult night, choosing to forgive yourself, speaking your truth despite fear, or even simply taking a deep breath when tension rises. These are all moments of profound courage. Each one is a declaration. I am here, I endure, I matter. And with every declaration, self-love grows deeper, more grounded, and more unwavering. Resilience is not a solitary journey. It thrives in connection, in support, in shared experience. Reaching out to others, seeking guidance, or simply allowing yourself to be held during difficult times does not diminish your strength. It enhances it. True resilience recognizes the balance between independence and interdependence, between standing tall alone and leaning on others when necessary. Strength is not weakness, and vulnerability is not failure. They are the hallmarks of enduring power. Visualize now the life of someone who has cultivated resilience. Challenges arise, as they always will, yet the response is measured, grounded, and rooted in self-love. Mistakes are met with understanding, setbacks are opportunities for learning, and fears are faced with courage. Life is not easier, but it is richer, more meaningful, and more aligned with who you truly are. Resilience transforms obstacles into stepping stones, adversity into wisdom, and pain into profound growth. As you develop resilience, remember that it is a muscle, not a permanent state. You will have days when your flame flickers, when doubt creeps in, when the storm seems too great. This is natural. The practice of resilience is to return again and again, to choose presence, self-compassion, and courage, even when the path feels uncertain. Each return strengthens the flame within, until it becomes an unwavering beacon, guiding you forward. Resilience also allows for the integration of your authentic self. By facing challenges without surrendering your truth, you reinforce the alignment between who you are and how you live. There is power in showing up fully, in honoring your values and voice, even when external forces pressure you to compromise. This integrity deepens self-respect, amplifies self-love, and creates a life built on enduring strength, rather than temporary comfort. As this chapter draws to a close, remember this: resilience is the foundation of lasting self-love. It is the fire that persists through adversity, the mountain that stands against the storm, and the wisdom that transforms suffering into growth. You have faced struggles before and emerged stronger. You will continue to face them, and each time, your inner strength will expand, your self-love will deepen, and your capacity for joy will flourish. In the next chapter, we will bring together everything you have learned, the presence, the authenticity, and the resilience, into a life of fulfillment, empowerment, and profound self-love. We will explore practical steps and timeless wisdom to sustain this transformation, ensuring that the love you cultivate for yourself is lasting, radiant, and life-changing. Your strength is alive, your heart is resilient, and your journey toward deep, unwavering self-love continues, carrying you through every storm, toward every sunrise, and into the fullness of your own extraordinary life. Chapter 10. Living fully in self-love. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine a life where you wake each day feeling entirely aligned with yourself, where your choices, your words, and your actions flow from a deep, unwavering sense of self-worth. Picture the lightness that comes when judgment no longer controls you, when fear no longer dictates your decisions, and when the voice inside you, the authentic, courageous, loving voice, finally takes the lead. This is the life of full self-love, and it is within your reach. Living fully in self-love is not a destination. It is a way of being. It is a practice that permeates every moment of your life, a conscious choice to honor yourself in thought, word, and deed. It is the gentle recognition that you are inherently valuable, not because of what you achieve, who approves of you, or how others perceive you, but simply because you exist. This is the deepest truth of your journey. Your worth is intrinsic, eternal, and undeniable. To live fully in self-love, you must embrace your wholeness. This means honoring the light and the shadows within you, the joy and the sorrow, the strengths and the vulnerabilities, the triumphs and the mistakes. Each part of you is worthy of recognition. Each experience, no matter how painful or challenging, has contributed to your growth and shaped your resilience. By acknowledging and accepting every facet of yourself, you create a foundation that no external circumstance can shake. Self-love is expressed through boundaries. It is saying yes to what nourishes your soul and no to what drains it. It is the courage to protect your energy, your time, and your peace. Living fully in self-love requires the ability to discern where your limits lie and to honor them without guilt. It is not selfish, it is necessary. When you respect yourself, others learn to respect you too. Boundaries are the practical expression of your inner worth, the daily affirmation that your needs matter just as much as anyone else's. Living fully in self-love also means embracing your authenticity. You are not here to perform, to conform, or to fit into molds designed by others. You are here to be you, fully, unapologetically, brilliantly you. Speak your truth, create your art, choose the life that reflects your value. When you act from authenticity, every interaction becomes richer, every experience more meaningful, and every achievement more fulfilling, because it aligns with your inner truth. Compassion for yourself is another cornerstone of this life. To live fully in self-love, you must speak kindly to yourself, especially when you stumble or fall short of your own expectations. Mistakes are not failures, they are lessons. Imperfections are not flaws, they are evidence of your humanity. By treating yourself with patience and understanding, you nurture your soul and reinforce the love that sustains you through every challenge. Gratitude transforms self-love from a concept into a lived experience. When you consciously appreciate your journey, your body, your mind and your heart, you amplify the love you feel for yourself. Gratitude is not about ignoring difficulties. It is about recognizing the beauty and growth present even amidst struggle. Every breath, every heartbeat, every act of courage is worthy of acknowledgement. Gratitude allows your self-love to expand naturally, infusing your daily life with joy and fulfillment. Resilience is inseparable from self-love. Life will continue to present challenges, unexpected twists, and moments of uncertainty. But when your foundation is built on love for yourself, you face these moments with courage and clarity. Resilience is not just surviving, it is thriving, using each trial as an opportunity to strengthen your connection to your own worth. When you rise again and again, guided by love for yourself, you cultivate a life that is unshakable, radiant, and deeply satisfying. Living fully in self-love is a conscious, daily practice. It requires reflection, presence, and intention. Begin each day by affirming your worth, by listening to your needs, and by committing to act in alignment with your values. End each day with gratitude for your efforts, for your growth, and for the love you cultivated for yourself. Over time, these small, consistent acts create a powerful momentum, a life that mirrors the profound respect, compassion, and love you hold with. Imagine now the ripple effect of living fully in self-love. Your relationships transform because you no longer seek validation from others. Your work and creativity flourish because you are fueled by intrinsic motivation. Your choices become guided by authenticity rather than fear or obligation. Self-love does not exist in isolation. It radiates outward, influencing every aspect of your world. By loving yourself, you inspire love, integrity, and authenticity in others. And so, as we reach the close of this journey, take a deep breath and feel the truth of these words. You are worthy, you are complete, you are deserving of every kindness, joy, and abundance life has to offer. Self-love is not a fleeting emotion. It is a steady, enduring presence that you can cultivate, nurture, and carry into every moment of your life. Carry forward the lessons of presence, authenticity, resilience, and compassion. Let your voice be heard. Let your boundaries honor your needs, and let your heart guide you with courage and wisdom. This is the culmination of the journey we began together, living fully, unapologetically, and profoundly in love with yourself. Your journey does not end here. Every day offers a new opportunity to practice, to grow, and to deepen the love you hold for yourself. Life will continue to test you, challenge you, and shape you, but with self-love as your foundation, every experience becomes a chance to shine, to heal, and to embrace your extraordinary potential. So step into your life, fully, openly, and brave. Seek your truth, honor your heart, and let self-love guide every decision, every relationship, every moment. You are not only capable of love, you are a living embodiment of it. Your life, when lived from this place, becomes a masterpiece of courage, wisdom, and joy. This is your invitation to live boldly, to love deeply, and to embrace the fullness of yourself. The world is brighter because you are here. Your journey has led you to this moment, and from here, the path is yours to create, filled with the power, beauty, and transformative love that resides within you. Live fully, love yourself completely, and let your life be a testament to the extraordinary being that you are.